Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Adam Gomez. I'm going to be the timekeeper of today's school committee debate. Before I go in and introduce the owner, I just want to let you guys know to please put your phones on vibrate or turn them off. Before we move on, I'm going to introduce the owner, excuse me, of DBN Network, Billy G, to come forward and welcome us.
All right, Billy G.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you guys coming out. This is our first debate here. Digital Boombox Network is a relatively new company. We're an online radio station, so for viewers or people to hear us, they will download our app, which is on Apple or Android stores. We're proud to say we actually have 2 stations. We'll be launching DBN Community. If you're familiar with Digital Boombox Network, you'll know we kind of cater towards the 17 to 40-year-olds and kind of play their music, let them speak under their own terms so we can have a relationship with them and merge worlds. So when they see that they're heard here, we play their music, and then the police commissioner's here, and the coaches here, all the different leaders are here. It kind of merges worlds in that we want to make it where when you see that logo, it's universal, where people of all walks in life feel like they're heard and not judged, and we can communicate and grow and make some change here. So again, so if we download that app, interested in any events or anything, please let us know. We're trying to cover some of everything. So again, we appreciate you guys coming. This is our first debate, and enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you, Billy G.
Before we move forward, I'm going to introduce a friendly face to all of us. Our elections commissioner
are exhausted at this point, I'm sure. We're going to debates, candidate forums, and we all have good intentions when we put these things together because we want everybody in the city to be able to attend and see your faces and hear the issues that are important to you and are important to us as voters in the city of Springfield. Bringing it together in a digital format that can be broadcast, like Focus TV has done, like DBN is doing now, is extremely important because it's something that can be replayed, and it's going to hit a different target audience here. As Billie Jean said, 17 to 35, very urban, younger people, which is who we're trying to impact and have them get out to vote. I myself, just as a personal aside, I have been involved in politics since I was 10 years old. So I was able to, through my mom's work, my mom was a mom like LaTonia. So she brought me everywhere that she went. She took me by the hand. I held signs for Congressman Neal, Sacco Kajakis, Anthony Schiavelli, all of the really, great leaders in Springfield. And it kind of geared me to be on this side of the podium, which is helping people like LaTonia, Ryan Hess, Zaida, Govan, Stephanie Murchison do what they need to do to try to run for office, which is extremely important. We've had the most vibrant field of candidates this year, which has been amazing.
That's right.
Women, younger people, people of color, and I can say that that's only through the work of people like Yolanda, people like Adam, people like Linda O'Connell, who have really paved the way to show that democracy is important. We need to have a choice as voters, and we need to be able to say there's some excitement in going to the polls and being able to actually choose someone who speaks to our issues as voters. And so the work that I do at City Hall hopefully goes hand in hand with the work that the candidates are doing, with the work that people like Linda are doing, and tonight will be just another example of that. So I welcome you and I thank you for coming tonight.
Before I move on, I'm going to let all the candidates one by one introduce themselves and also tell us a little bit about what is the seat that they're each running from, because all of them are not running for the same seats. They're running in different districts, and some are running at large. So I'm going to start to my left, Mr. Hess.
Elevator pitch or just Sure, okay. Hi everybody, my name is Ryan Hess and thank you for tuning in tonight. I am 29 years old, lifelong resident of the city of Springfield, currently live in East Forest Park with my wife Jillian and my 2 beautiful daughters, Lydia and Nora. My motivation for seeking this seat this year is the fact that I'm a product of the Springfield Public Schools, and I have 2 girls that will be going to the Springfield schools well before their father wants them to be a school age. The 3 things we're focused on this year in the campaign are parental participation, school safety, and fiscal responsibility. Privately, I work for a commercial bank in downtown Springfield, and I can bring a unique set of skills when it comes time to allocate our citizens' tax dollars. And when it comes to public school safety and parental participation, I'm going to make sure that I do both of those things for my children. I'm sure we'll get more involved in those topics as well as we talk tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Ms. Naylor. Who's the neighbor?
Good evening. My name is LaTonia Naylor, and I am running for Springfield School Committee at Large. I want to bring the fun and enthusiasm back to the schools, increase community partnerships and supports, and make sure there's a safe learning and teaching environment in all schools. I'm running because I want to make sure that not only my 4 children, but also the children throughout the city, the thousands of children that need an advocate, are heard and that their needs are being met, and that all children in the schools receive a quality education, and that all teachers feel that they have an atmosphere that's going to allow them to be as productive as possible. So I thank you, and I know we'll talk more.
Mr. Ferrera.
Thank you, Councilor. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jim Ferrera. I'm a candidate for the Springfield School Committee at Large. One reason why I'm running for school committee is, at a young age, I was diagnosed with a learning disability, dyslexia. I know firsthand what great teachers Springfield has. If it wasn't for their dedication and their willingness to help me learn, I would have never graduated from college and went on to serve as your city councilor. I will work tirelessly to ensure all our children receive a first-class education. Thank you.
Fantastic. Ms. Govan.
Hi, my name is Zaida Govan, and I'm running for School Committee, District 4, Wards 2 and 8. And the reason I'm running for School Committee of my 4 points is reading success by 4th grade, stopping the school to prison pipeline, allocation of resources in our school system, and supporting teachers. And I hope that you will vote for me on November 7th if you're in my district. Thank you.
Dr. Brown.
Hi, my name is Dr. Stephanie Murchison-Brown. I'm running for School Committee, Wards 4 and 5. I have over 20 years of teaching experience. The reason why I'm running is for my grandsons who will be going to in the public school system. We need to graduate students who have the education and the skills to be employable and go to college. I see the need, and I can do this for you. Please vote for me.
Thank you. So the rules of this evening are each moderators can ask directly any candidate a question, or all 5 of them, and you have 2 minutes to answer. And then in our next round, when the moderators are no longer with us asking questions, the candidates will be able to ask each other questions, and then after, you have a 1-minute rebuttal. So beginning with my right-hand side, moderator number 1 to my right, would you like to begin? You could just introduce who you are and what your organization you're representing, and then ask your first question. If it's directed to the whole, it's here on the floor.
Should I stand?
If you would like, yes, ma'am.
Okay. My name is Kim Rivera, and I'm with Mass Parents United. What we do is we help parents advocate in the school system and in their community. And my first question would be, with the influx that's coming in from Puerto Rico, I want to know, how creative are you going to be able to help the children that are coming to our school system? And do you feel that it's only the responsibility of one organization to take any kind of role, or should we do it as a team?
And that question is directed to the whole, or?
Yes, everyone, please.
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you. First, I'll be a gentleman, and ladies first in the back, and then we'll go around.
That's a really good question. Thank you so much for asking it. Right now, so far, we have 100 students from Puerto Rico that came to our Springfield public school system, and I don't think that we're ready for them. We don't have the English language learners the way we used to have. I think they're just enmeshed into the English speaking system, and some of these children could be, you know, great students in Puerto Rico where they speak both English and Spanish sometimes, but when they come here, that there's a language barrier. So I don't know that we're going to be very successful at that in the beginning. I would like to see us work as a team, the entire city. We have a lot of great organizations in the city that we can call on for support. I believe that we're going to need some additional after-school programming. We're going to need some bilingual teachers in our school systems, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that. I know that one of my points is the allocation of resources. We have the resources in our school system to do some good work. What we need to do is look at those resources and figure out where they're going currently and where they can be better serving our students and our teachers. Thank you very much.
Next up, Mr. Ferrera.
Yes.
2 minutes.
Well, I believe that it's critically important that we have the resources in the classroom to help all our children, whether they're coming from Puerto Rico or they're right here in Springfield. And I will be an advocate to get those resources back into the classroom. Thank you.
Ms. Naylor.
I want to make sure I understand the question appropriately. With the influx of the children from Puerto Rico, how should we work together to solve that? In what ways? Right. Pretty much, right? So one of the things that I talk about is increasing our community partnerships and supports, and I believe that's important because there are so many organizations that do a better job of meeting certain needs for certain communities. Perfect example is United Way working with New North Citizens Council and some other organizations because they understand that they can't solve the issue and they know that there's other organizations that are working on it. So I think that that same mindset needs to be in the schools. Yes, we do have ELL programs and ESL programs, but I think that when you have an organization that better understands how to meet those needs, we need to pull them in and ask them, how do you do it and how can we do it here? And how do we leverage the resources that you're already getting so that we're not saying that we don't have the resources, because we do, they're in the community, but how do we leverage those resources that you already have? And I think we should continue to do that as a team. There's never an I, it needs to be a we, because it's all of our kids, regardless of where they come from, what free color back.
2 minutes, Mr. Hess.
Thank you so much for the question, and thank you to Mass Parents United for what you all do for our students. To answer your question very directly, I believe that my time in the Springfield Public Schools proved to me that our diversity in our city of Springfield is an enormous strength and something that we should leverage. When these students come, specifically in this instance and from the tragedy in Puerto Rico, I think one of the first things we need to do, and maybe step away from the classroom for 1 second, is make sure that they feel welcome and they feel a part of our community. So I think we need to leverage community partnerships and nonprofits to the extent that we're able to allocate those types of resources and bring them into our schools, but also make sure that we have a focus on volunteer outreach and parent engagement to make sure that they can come together and make these children who have lost everything come in and feel that they are a part of something new. They're in a very foreign place in a very different area, and I think the only way we're going to make sure that these new students are educated well and perform at a high level is to make sure that they feel comfortable in the classroom. So I think we need to leverage a combination. The answer very directly is that it has to be together. It can't just be the Springfield Public Schools because we have finite resources, but there's many resources within the community, both financially and from a personal standpoint, that we can leverage to make sure that they feel welcome and that they have the best chance of success in Springfield.
Thank you. Dr. Murchison-Brown. 2 minutes.
What I feel is that I don't feel as though that the students of Puerto Rico is that much different than the students that we have currently in the Springfield public school systems. I think that we do a disservice when we try to think of them as a immigrant or someone from a third world country. They're part of the United States in itself. So at that point, they always should be welcomed. And I think that the most important thing is to make them, they come from a point where they have been in a terrible tragedy. We have to meet those issues, the mental issues that they may be going through. But in a school system, we shouldn't separate students from other students, because peer teaching helps another student. So even mentoring with another Puerto Rican student is very much needed. And when we start trying to separate people, then they become treated differently. And we don't want them treated differently. We want them to feel welcome. And we need to put more effort in the bilingual programs.
Thank you. One of our next moderators to the left and directed to whoever you would like to answer.
Hey, LeVar Click, representing the Springfield YMCA of Greater Springfield, also a head coach here in the city of Springfield High School Commerce. My question is to the panel. Basically, we have a 1.67 in our school system as far as being eligible to play high school sports. So my question is directed: how would you